It's the season again for UMW's wonderful Great Lives lecture series. On this week's edition, we'll tell you about what's in store. This week, we're coming to you from the historic Countin Inn on the campus of the University of Mary Washington, and I'm with Mr. William B. Crawley, or Bill Crawley, a longtime professor at the University of Mary Washington, whose name is now on the upcoming UMW Great Lives lecture series. So, Mr. Crawley, thank you so much for joining us today.
Bill, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
Always like to talk about Great Lives.
Absolutely. So we did a video on Great Lives last year, but it's such a popular series that we wanted to promote the upcoming season again. So Bill's been working on this year's series probably for more than a year. So tell us about what we have coming up this year. Okay.
Well, as always, we try to have a very diverse array of lectures, topics. I work on it almost continually. I'm already working on next year's for 25. And along the way, reading reviews, just normally reading newspapers, magazines, book reviews. That's how I pick up leads on new topics. And our goal is to have diversity, variety of topics, probably a better way to put it. And by that I mean variety in terms of chronology, the topic. By the way, they're all biographies. That's something, we have people actually come to the series regularly, and I think maybe they don't actually realize it's all about people. I mean, it's not just a straightforward history of, movements and great episodes in history, but about individuals, which leads to a study of the times in which they lived. But anyway, try to have diversity. It's sort of eclectic. In terms of chronology, this year, for example, our list of topics goes from as far back as the Roman Empire. We have a speaker from Cornell, an expert on the Roman Empire, who's going to talk about the 10 Caesars, going from, I guess, Augustus to Constantine. And then, all the way up, I guess the most recent figure that we'll look at is very different in our own times, Billie Jean King. So there you have military political history from ancient times and sports history of modern times, and we've got everything in between.
And they're all in the Dodd Auditorium in the George Washington Hall, and they're usually like Tuesdays and Thursday nights?
Always on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 7:30. But it's great if people could come to the talks, because that way you can interact with the speaker. We have a Q&A session afterwards, book signing and what have you. So it's really a lot more interesting, I think, to be there in person. But if you can't come, then they're available on our website, the archives, and it can be found at umw.edu/GreatLives.
And you can find the full list of all the speakers on that website as well.
And a little write-up description of the talk, what they'll cover, and a biography of the speaker. So it's good to go ahead of time. I mean, to that website, you can see what you're going to have.
And it runs all the way through the end of March this year.
It runs
is
through
that
the
right?
end of March. The last one is March 28th. It starts January 16th.
And
18 topics, by the way. We've never had a larger one. That's about as many as we've ever had.
Fantastic. And thanks to the generosity of some of your sponsors, it's all free, right?
Exactly.
For the public.
Bill, that's an important part of it, because and I think the public appreciates that. We appreciate the public. The university underwrites it and pays for the fundamentals of the series, I guess. That is the venue and the staffing, personnel, and so forth. But the university does not have the resources to pay what our speakers demand. And I think that would be a surprise to many in the audience to know just how expensive some of these are. But it's not at public expense, but through private donations. And in particular, we have some wonderful corporate sponsors that have really been essential in keeping the series alive, because the university just really cannot devote that much money to a single talk. But if people want to pay, it's great for the public, because it is free to the public.
Yeah, and just quick history lesson. You started this lecture series when you were a history professor back at the university.
Yes, and it was a class. The students could take it for credit. It was part of the class. They still had to read it, assignments. They had exams and so forth. And I lectured to sometimes just to the class members.
Well, it's just such a fantastic community event, and we can't thank you enough for getting it started and organizing it, and all the sponsors for making it available. So I really hope that people will come out this year, again, starting January 16th.
Right. I hope they will, too. So it's astonishing to some of the speakers that we have such a big turnout.
Yeah. And people don't need to get tickets ahead of time, right?
That's
They just
no,
show up.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. Generally, a very nice crowd.
Yeah. Well, hopefully people will check it out. Great Lives lecture series starting January 16th in Dodd Auditorium. And again, go to umw.edu/GreatLives to get the full list of speakers and topics. And Professor Crawley, just thank you again for all your good work on the series and for joining us. And best of luck with this year's speaker series.
Thanks, Bill. This will be our 21st year, during the course of which we've covered over 300 topics. So we want to proceed with it, and I hope people will come out.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. So that'll do it for this week's edition. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next week.